I'm Beverly Lloyd from the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. Our mission is to promote education and encourage interest in African American culture among all nationalities and to encourage friendship among all nationalities. The video that you're going to see today is done by young people, for young people, and the young at heart. It's made possible by a grant from Target to the Association of African American Cultural Gardens. I present to you How I'm Living the Dream, a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. protested with Rosa Parks in the bus boycott. Trying to make her sit in the back of the bus wasn't right.
My name is Serenity Jones. I am 16 years old. I am in the 11th grade and I attend Glenville High School. The quote I selected by Dr. Martin Luther King is, "I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness." I like this quote because throughout my years in school, I have always been a leader. Leadership has been my calling. I currently serve as the Vice President of Class of 2025 and am a member of the Student Advisory for Glenville High School. Last school year, we lost a scholar due to gun violence. I helped to organize a Stop the Violence rally and balloon release to commemorate his life. I stress to my peers how valuable life is and how we need to stop all of the petty bickering and fighting because life is too short. I try to be a peaceful person because I realize how much peace impacts your mental health. I was so hurt when I was called out of my name by an adult that knew better. I wanted to lash back at the person, but I took the high road. I knew I needed to protect my peace and not react. I plan to continue on a righteous path, live my life with love, honesty, and truth.
Hotep. I'm Arnett Avery Brewer, and I've been a social worker for over 50-some years. I'm now retired, originally from the South, came to Cleveland, go to graduate school at Case Western Reserve. I am a grandmother, great-grandmother, and I'm getting interviewed by my grandsons and my great-granddaughter. Hi, Sarai. What question do you have for me?
What did you feel about Martin Luther King and his legacy?
Well, I have a lot of feelings about it, mainly because of where I was raised, down south. And there was a lot of fear because of the Ku Klux Klan, and a lot of people were getting killed. And when I was 9, I saw a man hanging from a tree, and he was dead. And later I found out he was my cousin. When Martin Luther King started doing what he was doing, I felt invigorated because here was somebody who wasn't afraid, who was able to speak his mind, and who had a plan on how we would be able to get our freedom. And I wanted to be a part, but my grandparents and my mother were very fearful. I said, wait till I get out of here and get in college. I'm gonna do something. And I didn't want the revolution to leave me behind. But I said, Martin Luther King already left the plan. All I gotta do is follow it.
Thank you for sharing, Granny.
Hello, Asaju.
Hi, Granny.
Do you have a question for me?
Yes. My question is, what are some injustices that happened around you?
Well, I grew up in the South in the 50s and the 60s, so there was a lot. When you went to the movie, you had to sit in the balcony. You couldn't drink out of the same water fountain as a white person. You had to step off the sidewalk if a white person was walking towards you, because you couldn't get near them. If you wanted an ice cream cone, you couldn't go in the front door of the ice cream parlor. You had to go to the back door and to get your ice cream or soda. It was a lot of different things. I went to a segregated school, and me and all the black kids was in one school, and all the white kids actually was in 2 schools, because they had a elementary school and a high school. The black kids had one school, grade 1 through 12, and it was called a union school. And I went to that school, grades 1 through 12, no kindergarten. And when I got sick, I had to go to a black hospital, which was smaller than the white hospital. Everything was like that there. We had a clinic in our town. One side, the white people sat on, and the other side, the black people sat on. The whole society was set up that way. And we didn't know anything was wrong with it at first, because nobody told us. And you could get in trouble. We was taking the bus to another town one day, and my mother, we ran ahead of our mother, and I'm a twin, and we jumped on the front seat of my bus. Oh my God, this white man looked at us like he was gonna kill us, and my mother snatched us up and gave us a little spanking on the butt and said, "We don't do that," and took us to the back of the bus and sat down. I didn't know black people wasn't supposed to sit in the front seat. So it was a lot to change. And in our time, people started changing them. Martin Luther King, the students at University of North Carolina, at A&T, Agricultural and Technical College. Yeah, so it was very different.
Are any of those injustices that you remember still a thing today?
No, they're not. They're not. But there are subtle things, less things that you can actually see, okay? Because jobs were segregated, everything was segregated. Nowadays, you got laws that say you cannot discriminate. However, there are things that are done to eliminate black people from certain type of jobs. So, but you have to know what the game is, as the saying goes. You have to know, because if you don't know, you would think it's you. And it's really not about you as a person. It's just the racism of it.
Thank you, Granny.
Thank you. Hello, Amir. What question do you have for me?
The question I have is, how do you stand up for justice today?
Well, I stand up for justice today by trying to be there for you guys, my grandkids and great-grandkids. So I've been going on demonstrations like Black Lives Matter demonstrations. I will also have written to places, and I've also gone to different organizations that I'm a member of, like the National Association of Black Social Workers, the NAACG, the Association of Black Storytellers, the Cleveland Association of Black Storytellers, and other organizations in my community that are trying to do things for black people. At my church, I became a member of Rites of Passage group, where I became the Queen Mother. So, and it's just to help more formalized position, but it's to help young people understand all the things that happened in the past and relate it to the future that they are a part of.
Thank you for sharing, Granny.
Thank you, Amir.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. marched on Washington, D.C. Separating blacks and whites wasn't right.
Hey sir, how are you doing today?
Not so good. Not so good.
Well, I hope this helps.
Thank you. My brother and I make food baskets to feed the hungry.
Until all are free, none are free.
My name is Eva Thorpe. I'm 17 years old. I'm in the 12th grade and I go to Glenville High School. The quote I selected from Dr. King is, "I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphed." I live this truth by making sure to still show unconditional love to the people I have a connection with and have disrespected me. For an example, at my previous school, a teacher had called me a liar because she thought I had not turned in an assignment. I was devastated and embarrassed. Instead of lashing out at the teacher, I went to the principal and had a meeting with the teacher and voiced my hurt and concerns. From this situation, I learned to remain true to myself and express my hurt in a calm way. I'm always making sure to show the unarmed truth to the people that need it the most. An example of this is telling a peer of mine that if they want to pass this class, they really need to put in more effort. I made sure not to come off too hostile and try to be as helpful as I can to someone who's having a difficult time. I continue to live my life as true as I can with my head held up high, This journey throughout life will not always be easy, but I do know that evil will not win and love will always come out as the victor.
Dr. Martin Luther King spoke out for sanitation workers. Giving black workers less pay than white workers wasn't right. Dr. Martin Luther King was a drum major for justice.
Hello, my name is Gene Fuqua. I'm originally from Soperton, Georgia. I've been in Cleveland for some 70 years. I'm Cleveland State graduate. I'm an auditor for Ameritrust Key Bank, so I've been there for some 20 years, and then after that I retired. I'm going to be interviewed by my niece. At this point, she's going to come up and ask me some questions, then I will begin for her the answers to the questions that she'll be asking me. Come, niece. Would you tell everybody your name?
My name is London.
What is your question for me?
What year did you graduate from high school?
High school, I graduated in 1959.
Thank you.
Hi, niece.
Hey, Uncle Gene.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good, good. Would you introduce yourself to the audience?
My name is Jaya Hines, and I came here to interview my Uncle Gene. Uncle Gene, was whites and black able to sit together in the movie theater?
Oh no, they were never able to sit together or any interaction with each other. The blacks sat on top of the stage and the whites sat on the lower level of the theater. So they were never together. No.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Uncle Gene.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Would you introduce yourself to the camera?
I'm Jashara Taylor, and I'll be interviewing Uncle Gene. Okay, what inspired you with what Martin Luther King Jr. said when he was alive?
Oh, the inspiration that he gave me was the fact that he was always on time. He was persistent. He never waffled about questions. He gave correct answers. So that's one of the things that he always inspired me about. But being there, being on time, he always showed up, and he was always very well, gave very good answers that you could understand. And of course, the question that was being asked for him at any time, he was always on the positive sign rather than negative. Good positive sign, good positive person, good eloquent person. That's what inspired me.
Well, thank you.
Okay, sure.
Broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can find a fighter, but I sit at you, so we gon' walk it out and move mountains. We gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the ways. I'll rise up, in spite of the age. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. Thank you.
On behalf of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, my name is Kwanzaa Brewer, and my colleague, Michelle Jones, we are both educators, and we would like to thank you for celebrating the legacy and life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And also on behalf of the Cleveland Association of Black Storytellers and our youth group, Kuumba Cabs, we would like to say that we are proud to celebrate the inspirational life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Always remember, truth crushed to the ground shall rise again. Let us keep holding our heads up high, moving our youth forward in the footsteps of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.